Welcome back to the Systems Entrepreneur. I'm Kelly, and we are on part 3 of our series, Debating Business. And today, it's all about the plan. Now, in collegiate debate, the center point of every discussion was, what is our plan to solve the status quo, to solve these harms, and most importantly, to win this debate? The plan is what somebody is going to vote on, to judge. And while we had to cater that towards a panel or a single judge and a round, you get to cater this option to your audience, your community, and your leads. So you've got to tell them what the plan is. You've already brought them on this journey of understanding where they are today in the status quo and why it's harmful to stay there. But you can't just do that and be like, gee, doesn't that suck? You've got to have a path for them. Otherwise, you're just Debbie Downer and nobody will ever hire you. Especially in business settings, once you have established yourself as an expert, you are the one who has the plan, the bridge, however you want to frame it, to get people from where they are now to where they want to go. So let's use systems as an example. I could say to someone that if you don't even have basic systems in your business, there will come a point when you're forced to choose between keeping your business running and something that is critically important to you. It could be the birth of a child. It could be being there for a sick or dying grandparent. It could be an amazing opportunity that you will never get again. It could be just being there as a friend or family member for somebody in need. But in that moment, when you don't have any systems and processes that would keep your business running, you will have to make the hardest choice. And you can end up resenting your business and deciding that it's not worth it. Or you choose your business and then you feel the guilt of letting people down who you really care about. Now, I don't want you to experience that moment. I don't want you to come to me like clients that I've seen who are pregnant and afraid they're going to lose their baby or mad that they can't take their laptop on their honeymoon. Instead, you can take action and create the systems that your business needs to thrive when you're not there 24/7. And when those opportunities do come up, you can say yes with confidence, knowing that it's all going to be fine, your business is well taken care of, and you can be wherever you need to be. Now, here's a really critical thing when you're talking about your plan. And your plan is your offer for how someone can change. You don't want to go into the how. When we were in policy debate in college, we used this magic theory, this magic word called fiat. And fiat, unlike the car, allowed us to pretend that it just happened. Because in debate, if you had to prove who would vote for it and who would write the bill and how it got through Congress, not only is that super boring, but it's also unrealistic. Because if it's going to happen without us doing any work, then we don't need a plan, right? So you can use this fiat when you're in sales to say, when we do this together, here's the outcome. And you don't have to give them the step-by-step of how that will work. Now, it's natural to ask, of course, because people want to make sure you're legit and you're not going to be like, okay, I'm going to pay you $10,000 and then what do I get? And they're like, I pray for you. You're like, great, that's not going to help me paint my house. You've got to be clear on what you provide. But you don't need to give the step-by-step, line-by-line how it works. And this is really true just in general in content, that you want to tell someone what they get, why it's so important, and that's what we're doing in this series, and then the how and the exactly how is what they've paid for. That's the purchase experience, is let me take you through the how. But in this process, we're really focusing on the why. So the plan is what you're going to do, what I suggest you do to get the results. So the big question here and your takeaway action step is, What is your plan? What do you sell? And does what you sell adequately address the harms that you've identified? If you remember from the last video, we talked about making a list of at least 20 real life harms that could happen if somebody doesn't act. And you want to make sure that your offer actually matches up with those harms. If they don't match up, don't talk about the harms that you don't solve. That should be obvious. And make sure that you're addressing the most important, urgent, big harms. Imagine somebody said to you that they were selling a home inspection service. And, you know, this home inspection service could save you time by identifying the things that need to be fixed in your house. And you were like, okay. And then like 3 weeks later, they emailed you again and were like, oh, and also a home inspection service can tell you if your house is about to collapse because your foundation is rotting. You'd be like, well, that's way more important than it could save me money on light fixtures. You've got to address the harms, and you should be addressing the most urgent harms first. So that's your action step. And then go on to video 4, in which we talk about some advantages. If you miss any videos in this series, they should be here in a playlist or popping up on your screen right now. And make sure you subscribe so you get notified of our next video.